Looks like Saber's actually building a covert ops here, guys. Saber's actually building a covert ops. So I guess he's going to go nukes, because that's the only thing that makes any sense here against a Zerg player. Ghosts are certainly a poor unit to build, and you can't do lockdown on biological units, so Saber looks like he's going to go for nukes, and looks like the opponent has some clumped mulisks there, trying to do a little mulisk harass, but looks like Saber is going to ward them away with a dozen Marines still in his base, and Saber has spotted this attempt at expanding at the 1 o'clock position's main, and Saber is bringing a force of medic Marines over there to the 1 o'clock position, and that his opponent really needs to get his forces over there to prevent Saber from taking down that expansion. The Zerg player needs that third gas, and really needs it throughout the entire game. Often Terran versus Zerg ends up hinging on the extra gas for the Zerg opponent. It looks like the opponent's moving in with Mulisks and Zerglings here. It'll be a critical battle here, and Saber's actually going to run up the ramp here, which is a really smart move for him. Going up the ramp, and is going to be able to defend much better against these Mulisk Zerglings. It looks like Saber's getting 2 starports here. He's going to be going for mass science vessels, I guess. And it looks like his opponent's actually picked off a couple of medic Marines there, and only about 8 or 9 medic Marines left against, looks like 6 or 7 Mulisks and maybe a dozen Zerglings. So that force might be polished up. Now the attack's going in here, but looks like he sent his Zerglings in first. That's kind of a micro error, and looks like Saber might actually be able to hold here. Oh, the Zerg player losing all of his Mulisks. Oh, that's poor Zerg player. You really need to send in the Mulisks first to absorb some of the damage, and then let your Zerglings run up the ramp. But that Zerg player a little uncoordinated and losing his entire force. Now Saber way in the lead. He's going to be able to take down the second expansion, and looks like Saber actually killing his own comsat station. He's making way to build some nuclear silos. Looks like his SCVs are going to be used to kill the other comsat, so he's not even bothering with comsat anymore. He's going straight for nukes, and now that he has the lead, of course, he may be able to pull this off, having taken out all the Mulisks. I'm not sure if his opponent went for anything like Lurkers, which would be following what Saber would do in this situation. Saber usually does go for Mulisks first, and then immediately to Lurkers when he's playing against Terran. And recently, though, he's been going to Hive really early in his games, and that has actually, I think it's been kind of a questionable play, because before getting any kind of real advantage or an attack off, he's gone to Hive, and his opponent's actually got Lurkers too, so I guess his opponent is doing what Saber would be doing here. In any case, going to Hive early, off of usually 2 bases and 1 expansion, the one expansion often being quite vulnerable, I think isn't really a safe play against modern Terran players who can just wait until they push out with science vessels and medic Marines and just take down your second expansion and then put you in a world of hurt while you're still trying to change your unit setup. But in any case, Saber now getting 2 nuclear silos and building nukes. The nuclear silos are flashing, so Saber is going for nukes. That's amazing. And the random Zerg player bringing down some more Zerglings. I think he's just polishing off the forces at the 1 o'clock. But he's lost his expansion. I'm not sure if he has another expansion hidden somewhere. Looks like Saber isn't bothering scouting too much. I guess he just assumes that there isn't an expansion. He actually is building 2 expansions of his own at the 1 o'clock's main, and looks like those Lurkers are just preventing Saber from going any further, but he's okay with that. He's not going to have any scan, of course, because he's killed both of his scans to make way for nukes. So yeah, I guess he's going to rely on those science vessels to deal with it. There has been actually one pro game that I know of where a Terran player used nukes against Zerg. It was a game in the, I think it was the OSC or something. It was Casey versus Hoya, and Hoya isn't a very good Zerg player, but he got nuked 3 times. And Saber actually getting pinned in here by another group of Zerglings and Lurkers, but looks like the Zerg player, once again, not positioning his Lurkers in the right position, not positioning his forces correctly, making the right forces, but not taking out that group of medic Marines because his Lurkers weren't in the fight, other than the initial movement. He should have moved them closer. In any case, that game, Casey actually nuked Hoya several times. Hoya being a Zerg player, and it was quite embarrassing, I think. It was quite a famous game. It looks like a bunch of Lurkers are now moving in here. Saber actually going to try to bring in some nukes here. Not sure if he's going to get anywhere with this. Looks like a bunch of forces are coming in to intercept here. Nuking a Zerg, of course, is quite difficult, but nuclear launch has been detected, guys. Nuclear launch has been detected. I think he's trying to nuke the front door, and now the opponent's running in with Lurkers, but you can't attack with Lurkers like that. You can't just run him in single file like that. And Saber's actually Saber just nuked his entire army there, guys. I'm pretty sure he did that on purpose. There is no other reason why he would have done that. I hope he didn't do that just unintentionally. Yeah, he basically had the nuke going, and then he was going to destroy the front door with the nuke, but then he ran his entire army under it, and his entire army got nuked there. So the first nuke being a little bit counterproductive, but perhaps Saber is just showing how much of a badass he is, that he can still win after nuking one of his armies. Nuking first off, and then nuking his own army. That's just great. And Saber doesn't even need medics. He's too cool for them. Looks like he's not bothering. Oh, there's a medic. He's just building Marines. I mean, he really doesn't. I mean, the Zerg player actually, I don't think has left his base at all since building that second expansion. And so Saber really doesn't need to worry too much. Because he does have four bases at 2, and now there's Zergling attack coming in, but it's not very well coordinated. If that attack came with the lurkers, that may have done a lot of damage to Saber's front door there. And it looks like a bunch of lurkers are picking off more medic marines here, but Saber just doesn't care. Saber's just running his medic marines in. Of course, I don't know how you'd be doing if he was playing a pro and trying to play Terran, but so far his Terran play has been a little bit sloppy, to say the least. But of course, you know, he's a Zerg player. I don't know how often pro gamers really will play off-race like this. Saber has 3 science vessels, and looks like he's going to now do some irradiates. And oh, the Zerg opponent getting another surround in on this group, and I think this time it's going to be taken down here. These SCVs trying to be transferred. It looks like actually Saber managed to save it with just 2 medics left and 2 marines left, and it looks like the science vessels now are going to polish off the lurkers, and the cloak ghosts are actually walking in there. This opponent isn't really good at macro, but he actually isn't bad at surrounding Saber's units, at least getting surrounds off on groups of Terran units. And Saber, yeah, with just marines there, I guess he's not used to playing Terran, so he isn't building any medics to go with them anymore. Saber has 3 nuclear silos now, and he's moving in some ghosts now into this base. There actually isn't an overlord there. There is no overlord. So guys, Saber is actually going to get in. No, Sunkens are picking it off. Is it going to? No, it doesn't pick it off somehow. So Saber has 2 ghosts inside of the enemy base here, and he's launching 2 nukes now. A nuclear launch has been nuclear launch, not George W. Bush here. Nuclear launch has been detected. Now Dark Storm being used against him. Of course, Saber being an absolute innovator with Dark Storm, and this player is basically trying to be Saber, and he's going to get double nuked. He got double nuked, and his hatchery is down here. OMG, he's lost his natural expansion here to double nukes from Savior. So Savior, I would say, has a lead in this game. Yeah. So now Savior can just basically attack and move in there. But it looks like he's going to lose this little army now. This opponent's desperately trying to cling on here. But I feel like his opponent... if he had gotten lurkers out a little earlier with Savior's kind of poor control, he might have been able to hold a second expansion for a while at least and give himself a chance. Because he actually, the Zerg player doesn't have bad control of units. It's just that he's not detecting these nukes and he's not expanding. So in any case, though, it looks like Savior's going to take the game now. He can just run in now with his medic marines, just attack and move single file in. And I think the opponent's now GGing here. Yeah, GG. Saber got double nukes off. That was impressive. He also nuked his own men. That was not so impressive, but quite hilarious. I can't read what they're saying right now. But Saber looks like he's having a good time. He looks at a lot better state of mind than he has in the past. When he lost against Firebat Hero and against a couple of players about 6 months ago, he was in quite a lot of emotional disarray publicly. You could see him slamming the door angrily at one game when he lost, while he was leaving his booth, I think, or leaving the stage. And he was looking quite emotional in several other games. And it's good to see Savior back in form emotionally, even if he isn't at his peak yet, even if he's not back to his skill level at the peak. It looks like he is enjoying himself and enjoying playing StarCraft. So you guys should check out sc2gg.com. Of course, great site for seeing other commentators. And check out the Intel Classic series, which is going on right now. It has Savior playing along with Flash, Storic, and Mind. Actually, those 4 just finished, but there is going to be more of a game coming up soon. And actually, it looks like this guy did have a hidden expansion there at the 1 o'clock position. And Saber nuking again. I didn't even catch that. I was busy talking. And once again, nuking his army. I guess he is doing it on purpose, at least that time. And good game there. Good game by the Zerg, staying in until the end, letting Saber amuse us with his Terran play. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this more casual commentary here. Let me guys know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching. This is Collar signing.